Pluto's Ball is a pretty cute episode of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I have to say, it's not actually my favourite. This is the 12th episode. I've been watching them in order, and so far, I'd say for me personally, it's one of the weakest ones. And I think that's because the narrative is very basic. There are not too many opportunities for direct learning. I should point out that I am not the target audience for these. I'm 30 years old, but I like to watch them first of all as a Disney fan. I'm a big Donald Duck fan. He's not actually particularly prevalent in this, so maybe that's one of the reasons why I didn't enjoy it as much. But also, I like to analyse these from an educational perspective. There are opportunities for learning, but not as much as there are in some other episodes in terms of direct learning. So for me, it's not a bad episode, it's not a weak episode, but if I were to rank them, I'd say it's one of the weaker ones so far. This one's directed by Sherie Pollack and Howy Parkins, released originally in 2006, and the narrative is very simple. Goofy and Pluto are my two least favourite characters out of the classic Mickey Mouse and Friends characters. So again, probably some various obvious factors as to why this is not a personal favourite. Goofy is playing with Pluto with his very, very bouncy ball. It's Pluto's favourite ball. He bounces it too hard and in the wrong direction, and off it bounces out of sight. So Mickey, Goofy, and Pluto have to go and try and chase down this ball. As they do that, they come across various obstacles along the way and have to problem solve to find this ball. There are some sweet moments and some really useful moments. There's a scene with a hang glider where it shows how to help somebody and to look out for those around you. We get to see Mickey in the aeroplane. I don't know if we've seen the plane before. I'm not 100% certain, but that was a lovely bit of animation. The animation quality is, as always, up to scratch. We have some money and some counting when we meet Pete. Not for the first time. Pete magically produces this table and demands like a poll tax or something, which is very unusual. But we get some counting opportunities in here, and I guess the big lesson learned is don't bounce the ball too far, otherwise you may lose it. Although, of course, this does suggest that you will be able to go on an adventure and get it back. Maybe not giving the best message, because if you bounce your ball too hard and it goes in the road and it's gone, you're probably not going to get it back. So not accurate, but certainly allows the viewer to go on an adventure with Mickey and Goofy and Pluto. The Mouseketools, we have a hammer, a scooter, and a fishing rod, and I won't say what the mystery Mouseketool is in case you choose to watch this. They all seem to make sense at the right time, particularly with the aeroplane. I thought that was a nice little bit of engineering. There aren't really very many kind of interesting songs or actions to copy. It's definitely not as involved as a lot of the other episodes, beyond asking the audience to shout for Toodles, although there's a moment where the audience and Mickey and Goofy have to shout for Toodles, and Goofy shouts for Toodles, and he sounds so pained and desperate. He's in a sticky situation and is desperate for Toodles to come along and get him out of it, but he just sounds so pained. It was absolutely brilliant. Fantastic voice work from Bill Farmer as both Goofy and Pluto, and putting him very much at the heart of this. We also have Allwine, of course, as Mickey Mouse. So for me, it's not a bad episode. Of course, I enjoyed watching it because I just like, I love Disney. I can't help it. I'm an addict. There are worse things to be addicted to. And I find that this is just not my favourite. There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I don't think it's as good as some of the previous episodes, but not every episode can be as good as the other. Some are going to be weaker. That's, not everything can be up to par. But there's nothing fundamentally wrong with it. Pluto's Ball is quite fun. I really enjoyed Pluto in this, and I'm not the biggest Pluto fan, so that's definitely something that's in its favour. Ultimately, I can't fault it. Pluto's Ball is pretty cute.